Well, the cotton jassid is an invasive insect, and we actually first observed it on July 9th in the state of Georgia. We never would have expected it to do what it's done to date, but the populations of jassids have spread. We're actively treating for this insect pest, in many areas of the state, but this is a little tiny leafhopper, and it feeds on the undersides of leaves and actually injects a toxin, and we just see leaf injury. We see what we refer to as hopper burn that turns the plants yellow, ultimately red, and eventually necrotic. And we have multiple things that will control the insect, multiple products. But the problem we're dealing with is this is added expense. And cotton industry, we're not in a good situation in terms of profitability, and this is just one more thing we have to deal with. Then we need to understand if it matters, and we'll get that with yield data. But based on the observations I've made in many, many counties in the state of Georgia, yes, this insect will impact yield. The insect was just found in South Florida in 2024, and this is what we saw in 2025. So at a bare minimum, we knew it survived in South Florida, and this is the situation we're dealing with here. If it survives the winter here, likely we'll have this problem again next year. Our county agents have done a great job identifying where this pest is located, but basically it's entire coastal plain of Georgia. We've detected this insect, and we're not actively treating in all the counties, but the most common area where we're treating cotton is more in the southeastern part of the state, which is kind of different. A lot of times we see insect problems blow up in the southwest part of the state first, but this year it's been on the eastern side of the state. But it's across the coastal plain. I think you could find it in any cotton field in the coastal plain if you went out and looked for it. Currently, the insect has been found in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. Cotton Incorporated sponsors regional projects every year. Actually, looking for this pest was part of our regional project for 2025. I can assure you in 2026, this will be a very high priority for all the entomologists in the Southeast. But we work as a team. We've done that for many years. It all started when we were developing thresholds for stink bugs, when we dealt with stink bugs becoming an issue, but that has carried over to today. And each team member, each person in the Southeast brings a little different perspective, and that really helps us get to the correct answers a lot faster. I never would have, I expected us to find the insect, I really did. But to the level that we're dealing with it and the populations we're observing far exceeds expectations, and it's not a good thing.